Hi everyone, it's good to be back. As you know, in 2023, we have shifted our concentration from looking at adult mental health, now concentrating on children's mental health. I'm back at Wycombe Abbey School. I'm with Matthew today. Thank you, Matthew, for joining me. Matthew is a school teacher here and he teaches Year 6. Matthew, I'm sure you have loads of things to share with me today, but I would like to concentrate a little bit on children's mental health. So if you don't mind, I will get straight into it. So over the course of your career, what kind of trends have you seen in children's mental health?
Well, first, nice to chat with you today too.
Thank you.
The trends that I've seen in my teaching career, I've been teaching for around 10 years now. So we've always had an eye on the well-being of students, both emotionally and mentally. But I feel coming out of the pandemic, there's a bigger focus on it now. I think with this generation, with the advances in technology, for example, YouTube and video games, they've become a lot more impatient. Right? So you've got the Netflix generation who skip intros, skip credits, skip episodes. They want full seasons of whatever they're watching on YouTube. You can skip ads, things like that. So they're a much more impatient generation.
Correct.
Right? And the video games as well, they seem to be more action packed, fast paced. And they bring that into the classroom. They want instant gratification. They want to finish projects quickly to a high quality, to a great quality. So what I need to do as a class teacher is slow them down. Okay? Because life isn't always that fast paced. In life, you can't skip intros and get everything all at once. So what I aim to do in the classroom is to kind of bring them down a little bit and make them more patient. Notice that how putting in lots of hard work will give better results in the end.
Yeah, I mean, when you said those, I can literally resonate it as myself as well. You sitting on social media, you skipping through short videos, and trying to whatever is eye catching, and you're bored. Your concentration is less. And obviously, I guess even adults, even for the kids, that this is where you come in and tell them to just step back and just look at it. And then, because there's so many improvements you're going to do on any project, some tweaking and turning, and before you actually get the final product. So appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. So Matthew, tell me, how important is it as a teacher, your role nurturing any child in terms of your mental health?
I think first, because we're teachers, we are trained. Okay, I think that's the big difference here, that we're trained professionals to take care of the students' academic and their pastoral well-being and development. Now, as the best jobs that parents can do is amazing, but every parent is different. Every household is different. So when we come together as a class, me with my professional training in well-being can help offer students differences or a variation on what they're hearing at home. This is something we've figured through COVID recently, through the pandemic. So when every household is dealing with the pandemic in different ways, reading different news, saying different things at home, having different expectations of the students, and as we come together, we follow the government guidelines, obviously, here at school, but just to see and compare different families and different ways of dealing with things and coping mechanisms as well. So as we come back to school, as the pandemic is in its final stages, hopefully now, then that's one role that as a teacher I can bring them together and show them the way that we're dealing with it as professionals.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, like you're right. I mean, it must have been quite challenging because when you were guys teaching online, some kids are sitting on their beds, some kids are sitting in the living room. Naturally, they're in a different sort sort of settings. Here in a classroom, you're all sitting equal. You're wearing a uniform, you know what you're doing, you treat it as equal. So yeah, I think when it comes to nurturing, I think that gives you a good leeway into then follow the whatever you are helping them with. So may I ask, what are the key resources you have or you have equipped with and that helps you then implement any of your ideas to children?
I think the first thing that any teacher needs is flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more of an intangible resource then. So the structure of our day. Here at Wycombe Abbey, I have lots of time, lots of contact time with the students. So we have our form times, we have PSHE lessons. So this gives me the flexibility. If I see anything maybe cropping up or arising, or some trends even with some students, some maybe not being friendly with each other, not getting on in terms of teamwork because they've been at home for so long during the pandemic, as they come together, again, I have that flexibility then to change my day, maybe swap some lessons around, make sure that everything is still covered, but at the same time, I can use time as my friend and focus on certain things as they come up.
I think no matter people, they say time is valuable because, it's not about having things in place to help. I think you just kind of, you said it, couldn't said it any better. For you to then see the situation and then react to it. Is it the right time for me to then teach this lesson? How the kids are reacting or how they're behaving, and then you just take a step back, like you mentioned, is that okay, maybe I not do this right now, and then it's that school that allows you to have that flexibility to do that. I think is great. I mean, it's good to hear as a parent that you have, you're not very much just down, this is what we're going to follow and that's it, end of it. So it's very much is like you see what's happening and then you adapt accordingly. Great, thank you. So when it comes to mental health, I mean, do you actually talk about it to your kids? Do they actually, is it just subtle that you don't really mention it, but at the back of your head, that I need to watch out for all these things? Or do you actually discuss it with the kids?
It's definitely something we talk about.
Okay.
Maybe around 5 years ago, I would be more focused on giving them the resources and tools to help fix their own problems. But these days, especially post-pandemic, I feel like I want to share and model self-regulation myself. So I will openly talk with the children and say, I'm feeling a bit tired today, I'm going to go for a walk, a break time, something like that. Or if you're feeling tired, I like to wash my face to wake up a little bit. So then I've had students then come to me and say, I feel a bit tired, can I go wash my face?
Wow,
something like that. So I'm normalizing talking about our well-being. Not only the tired side, but if they're feeling a bit frustrated about something, I'll even model that. And sometimes it's not real. Sometimes I just kind of make up a little situation. I'm feeling a bit frustrated about this. What can I do? Maybe I'll take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So then they see me modeling that as an adult, and then they will model it themselves.
I mean, I guess, again, going back to earlier, you said you adapt to a situation because you must have seen something in order to do what you just said. Okay, maybe I'll make it up, because you don't want to directly single that person out in a classroom. Well, there's something wrong with you. You need to go sort yourself out. No. I'll say it in a way that if the person is listening, and then hopefully in a few minutes later, like you mentioned, they do go to the toilet and then wash their face and then they come back refreshed. So it's those subtle things you're doing seems to work. So look, Matthew, I think this has been very valuable. Really appreciate that. I think doing these sessions, I realized that we as adults, we sometimes need that guidance as well, not just the kids. So again, thank you very much for your time. Guys, again, I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.